Dee-ba-boo-dee-doo. Skiddy-dee-bee-doo-doo. Ra-da-da-dee-dee. Doo-be-doo-be-doo-bee. Rap-ba-ba-ba-be-da-boo. We getting ready. We getting ready. Which? Well, come on, let's go a little, darling. Here we go. Let's share this. We're sharing it. I hope you're watching. Facebook. In doing so, he racked my brain. Married in a hurricane. We'll be starting in just a little bit. I'm just wrapping up some of these other miniatures that I'm building, so we can build the cool stuff tonight. Let me see what I got here. Oh, there's Spider-Man. What else we got? Oh yeah, we'll be building Captain America. I got an Iron Man. That's Crossbones. That's Baron Zemo. That's Crossbone. Alright. So we'll build a couple of guys tonight. Save Black Widow for another day. Get out some bases. We'll save Ultron for another day. Build Captain America tonight. I did post about Captain America, so we'll build Captain America. We'll be starting very soon. Gloo, goo, 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 goo. That's Ultron. So Ultron. One. All right. Good evening, everybody. Super excited to be back for a third time this week. That's a record for the Big Bad Nerd Dad. The girls went down fairly easy. I got two beautiful little girls. This is your first time watching miniatures game that came out 2 years ago. Again, I wouldn't have gotten into this because I'm already into so many other different miniatures games. I wanted to get into it. It's just that adding another miniatures game to my list was not part of the plan, but a very good friend of mine gifted this to me, so I am assembling the models so we can learn how to play and have a good time. Hey, what's going on? Alley Oop! That's my good friend Alex. He's over on Twitter. Alley-oop, thank you so much for commenting. It means a lot. But we'll be building characters for the, I say new, the newish Marvel Miniatures game. I talked about it on Tuesday, but it's an amazing box set. It comes with 10 miniatures. Twitch, not Twitter. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Ali. Twitch, not Twitter. So, Marvel Crisis Protocol. It comes with the most amazing learn to play guide, where it even teaches you. It's a really neat game. I've been wanting to play it, but again, it's just another miniatures game that I wasn't prepared to get into, but now I am, since somebody actually bought it for me. And it's got assembly guides for every single miniature. Even it came with a bunch of really cool terrain, like little cars, a newsstand box, like out in New York City. All right, hold on one second. Both the girls are up, so I gotta go put them to bed. Go lay down. Sweet dreams. Good night, night. Night, night. Leave the door open. You can leave the door alone. That's our almost 2-year-old. So like I was saying, it comes with some really neat little terrain. A little thing. So here's Dr. Octopus for scale. He's one of the larger base models. And tonight I've decided that we'll be assembling Captain America. And we'll see who else. I've already assembled Dr. Octopus, but there's like Captain Marvel, Iron Man, Ultron, Spider-Man, Red Skull, Crossbones. It just came with a slew of miniatures to build, and it's a fantastic starter. Like for anybody that wants to get into a miniatures game and learn the basics of assembling models, painting models, a very well done miniatures war game. Like it involves you painting your miniatures, putting them down on a special field where you put out terrain and other obstructions like trash cans or cars, or the set comes with a bunch of little dumpsters, light posts. It's really neat and more than worth the money. The core box is a great value in itself. Bases for your miniatures, and we'll talk more about that as I start assembling more and more models. Let's go ahead and get a different view. Captain America tonight. So these models come on a Spotty. I'm currently looking at his how-to assemble guide, and it seems fairly simple. So the first thing we'll do is assemble his chest piece. Alright, so I use my clippers to cut the first piece of his torso. We'll clip second piece. And you should be able to wiggle out the second part. Just like with any miniatures game, you'll want to clean the piece. Use an X-Acto knife. You'll see me cutting towards myself. That's because I have very thick skin. My hands are very calloused from the work that I do. I just want to make sure that there is. Let's get a little bit more light in here. It's very detailed. A very detailed little piece. And my wife gave me the go-ahead, so I'm probably going to pick up some more models this weekend. Pick up Venom, Mysterio, Carnage, and maybe Green Goblin. Very excited about that. So, the first part of the Captain American guide says to glue the torso together. So I will put glue on this sort of little star pattern. Little dab will do you. I use Loctite Ultra Gel Control simply because I don't want the super glue flowing all over the place, getting into the crevices of the miniature and messing up the detail. Boop. Then you just match it up. Clamp it together. Make sure it's nice and flush. With great detail comes great responsibility. So we'll just continue right there. Next he has like these little side pouches. Put this up. You don't want to crossbreed Captain America with Spider-Man. Alright, so he's got all these little pouches on his side, on his belt. All these little pieces are right here. We'll just snip those out. My X-Acto knife. And again, if you're going to assemble models, be a little bit more careful than me. I have very thick calluses on my hands from the line of work that I'm in. And I could take a few scrapes. Me clipping them with this little set of clippers. They're just metal clippers for clipping little bits of metal. For hobby stuff, you can get a pair of these from Michaels or Hobby Lobby fairly cheap. Nothing special. I'm fitting them together before I glue it because the last thing I want is to so we'll dab just a little bit of glue in this tiny little part. And most of these pieces just snap right in place. That's another benefit to these miniatures from Atomic Mass Games, is they're almost like puzzle pieces. They'll just snap right into place. You don't have to worry about them only just barely sitting on on top of each other. With other miniatures, the glue might make it slide or not let it take well. So these are really well done miniatures. Wants me to put the shield to the clenched fist hand, so flip that one out. Set the torso to the side so we don't goof that up later. Clean this up. Go. Just clean it up a little bit. Okay, so this hand is going to take the shield. A very iconic piece of Captain America. I do not want to goof it up. So we're going to clip it very carefully. And that came off so smooth that there's barely any mold lines or flash. That's going to paint up real well. The iconic Stars and Stripe logo. Matter how it fits. Yes, one is more blocky and one is more of a little. Take the shield. Take Captain America's shield. We'll put just a little bit of glue. Each of the bits. Boop. Just a little bit. But too much. If you heard something very loud, that was Sabrina's game that she's playing. She's currently playing Tales of Arise. And we're having a lot of fun with that. Well, I say we, she is. This is her second or third time playing it this week. We can only do things once the girls go to sleep, so one of the callings of being a big bad nerd mom or dad. Callings, hallmarks. One of the hallmarks. Alright, so now we're cutting off his little shoulder pads. My goodness. There's a lot of pain and agony going on in Sabrina's game over there. Really glad I'm assembling models. Boop, there we go. So, his shield arm and his shoulder pauldron. Now we're going to take off the other arm and the other pauldron with the Avengers insignia on it. And insignia is just a really fancy word for symbol. Oop. So now we have his other arm detached. Again, they're very well detailed. You see his little fingers, his gloves have those little tactical knuckles for busting glass or knocking out bad guys. Alright. All that flash taken care of. Now we're going to attach the other pauldron. So instead of snipping it out, use my X-Acto knife. Barely graze the edges, hold it down so it doesn't go flying across the room, which has happened before. Okay. So I fit the piece before I glued it. I lay down the glue. It looks like there was supposed to be a piece that slid into there. There is no piece that slides into there. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue outside area. Catch it. Put it into place. We good to go. Our next step is going to be taking the torso and attaching the head and arms. So here's Captain America with his helmet on. That iconic A for America. The level of detail is absolutely beautiful. And if you're unfamiliar with miniatures games, the core set is $100. And it comes with 10 models, a lot of terrain, and everything that 2 players needs to start the game. There we go. I'm just gonna hold his head in place while it's gluing. Because again, like I said before, if you put too much glue, sometimes the glue will make the pieces float a bit. So I just don't want his head to float, nor that it's not to float. Looks like it's already done. Again, with this Loctite gel control, it goes where I want it to go and it doesn't flow anywhere. It stays in place. But that won't stop the pieces from floating. Alright, he's got one arm. Sort of like giving a command like, over there! So, just a little bit of glue on the sides of the tab. Because once that pushes in, it'll fill out around this rather large gap. Just a little bit of glue, and we'll put that in. Go. Got the shield, he's about to chunk it at somebody. That will not stay up, I know it won't. Because it happened to Doc in this game. Nothing wrong with them, they're not bad. Just that the Gwen, and there's 3 different versions of Spider-Man in the game, so you can play regular Spider-Man, Peter Parker. You could play Miles Morales Spider-Man, Or you could play the Amazing Spider-Man, who's still Peter Parker, but you know, Spider-Verse is a thing now. I have a bunch of them. They still haven't come out with the Scarlet Spider, so once he drops, I might go Web Warriors, but for now I'm going to do Spider Foes, which is basically the Sinister Six. I'll be playing that less for fun. Don't plan on getting too competitive with this. Just want to play with my friend Joe and go to special events that might be held at, I don't know, Space Cadets Gaming, Board and Brew. I think Etten Games and Hobbies does some events as well. And if you're unfamiliar with those stores, that's because I live in Houston, Texas. And there's a fantastic Marvel Crisis Protocol community out here. But if you're wanting to jump into the game and you don't have a local store close to you, Space Cadets Gaming has an online presence, so you could tactical rock order things online from Space Can do free shipping or something like that. They're always running little sales or something else. That was way too much. So, I put way too much glue, so now I have to clean that glue out. I'm gonna squeeze it tight together. Use my X-Acto knife. Wipe away the excess. Put it somewhere safe. Wipe away the excess. Put it somewhere safe. Wipe away the excess. Put it somewhere safe. Nobody's gonna look right here at Captain America. So that is a safe place for it to be. And then we will finish out the model by gluing his torso. His legs. There we go. Again, the models are so well put together that they sort of snap in place. And he looks just like this figure. Looks like he's standing on a sewer grate, so we will take that off. We got Captain America just lying there on the ground. Trim this face and this foot to the base. And Captain America is done. So you can see that the size comparison from model to model is great. Those will go well with the car. A little bit. Car. The newsstand. They could pick up a little trash can and throw it. I got a dumpster they could jump on and off of. Pretty excited. Another thing too is that I have a bunch of other terrain that fits well with this. Like I have a larger movie theater, and I have a larger library, and I have a playground set for use of modern miniatures that will go fantastic with all of this terrain that came provided with the core set. Here, Captain America will be right here. Doc. All right. Now we're gonna do one more miniature, and I believe I've got Iron Man and Ultron out. No, that's Spider-Man. Let's do Ultron. Let's do Ultron as a bunch of pieces. Not do Ultron. Let's do Crossbones. That was Red Skull. Here we go, Crossbone. We'll build Crossbones before the end of the night. Nice little gem cap. Leg. Leg. If you've never built miniatures before, do not do what I'm doing. I've just built enough miniatures that I should be able to figure out how to put this guy together. If there's itty bitty pieces, while you're slicing it, put your finger on it so it doesn't go flying across the room. Sometimes it'll just snap and fly. Then you are out of luck. So we're going to complete Crossbones from the Marvel Crisis Protocol miniatures game. Parts, there's mask, head and mask, and multiple parts, so place the take a quick look at the Crossbones guide. And that snaps right off. Cut this piece off of the headpiece. Give it down just a little bit. Then everything else will attach after we've completed him. So the first thing I want to do is his mask came in two pieces. So I want to make sure that I attach the face mask to the rest of the head, because I already know that I will knock it off this desk and lose it forever. It's happened before, it can happen again. And then my wife vacuums it up the next day, and boom. Right. So again, on camera, I can never get it to focus. Probably gotta get it on something bigger. Alright, well, let's do with the build a little bit. Edges. Oop. Shoulder bit. Clean the shoulder bit. Go. So I always like to glue the portion with the tabs on it first. Bloop. A little bit on each tab. Then on the flat spots. Piece will marry. Bloop. Put together. That's nice and tight and flush. Is part to put on the. There's a little knife and a little pouch that he has. So we will cut those pieces and then slowly slice through, because if you do it too hard, too fast, it'll fly away. Just boom, be gone. And if you're watching me, never cut towards yourself. Only reason I do it is because I have very calloused hands from my day job. So cutting my hands does absolutely nothing to me, unless it's a deep, deep, deep cut. I try not to apply that much pressure. Is going downward. The knife is going upward on his chest. So there's a little tab on the back where the knife is. Ooh. Shave that little bit off. Shave that little bit off. Boop. There we go. And then put glue on this back portion. Just a little bit, because again, if you put too much, it'll raise right up or float, and you don't want it to do that. Now there's a lot of detail in this miniature, so you want to make sure that you don't goof up and put the glue all over it. You only want the glue where the glue's at, if that makes sense. His little pouch goes down here. And I'm not making this stuff up, it's in the assembly guide. So again, if you want to play this game, I highly recommend the core set. It's got everything you need for 2 players to start. Great miniatures, decent terrain. So now that we've got that on, we put the arms and the head in place. So I've got the head. Alright, I was like, why doesn't his head fit? And it's because his head is in an awkward position. It's actually looking to the side. Like he's not looking straight, he's looking over his shoulder. Kind of like Captain America is looking to the side. He's got a punching hand and a hand that's rearing back. So this is the punching hand. I just fit it real quick. Sure, everything would gel nice and easy. Nope. That in there. Crossbone. Then this other hand is reaching back for like a haymaker. Right. The legs go together. Fairly simple. A little bit of glue in here, just a little bit outside, not too much. Put more glue right here. Fitting. Oh, that's why. We're forcing on the wrong way. Yeah, that's such an awkward pose. All right, there we go. So, Crossbones is almost done. He's finishing up this, taking off his firearm. Just a drop. Super glue across the entire thing. Firearm goes here. Right into place. He's done. Pouch came. Got an extra pouch. He's a mean little dude. Like he's leaning over for a knockout punch. So we'll get this base cleaned and ready. Just a little bit of glue right here. A little bit of glue right there. he is done. Like I said before, he's really leaning in for a knockout punch. Ooh. Looks like I'm gonna need a little bit more glue because of the way his base is. A little more glue. Alright. Crossbow finished. So now I have assembled Captain America and Crossbone. Two of the miniatures from... Is Crossbone so much fun? Thanks for watching, Ryan. Whew. So I've got Crossbones, Captain America, and Doc Ock built. And no extra pieces, so I know I'm doing good. With the exception of this pouch. And I have no idea where this pouch came from, because I don't see anybody else that it could go to. Everybody else has their pieces. And it wasn't on the assembly guide, so excess pouches. And so again, I'm just gonna put my 2 cents in to say that these are some very well done models. The detail's very good. Almost no mold lines. There are a few gaps from how the pieces fit together. Captain's waist is a little weird. Is it Captain's waist? No, I've got the pouches on Captain's waist. Like, he's got these little pouches that I glued on there, and they may even be upside down. But no, all of Captain's pouches are on there. It's just this other random large pouch that I think came with Crossbone, and it looks like a Crossbone pouch. But he's got his pouch on there. Sometimes to give it, and that's one of the things that I was talking about with the sprues. Like on the base sprues, you got little cups. On the other larger base sprue, you had a cup and a can and a dented can. I thought that's really neat to add some pieces to the base for like a little bit of flair. Again, it's another part of this being a really neat thing for a beginner who wants to get into a miniatures game. You know, it's got everything you need to actually play. It's got the rules. It's got tons of miniatures. It's got terrain. And it's got the measuring sticks, so you don't need to do a lot of measuring, movement, attack range, stuff like that. And again, I haven't learned the game yet. I'm just doing this. Thanks, Ryan. Thanks for checking me out. Love you. Have a good night. So I'm definitely excited to get into this game, to learn about it, to thanks for liking the stream, Ryan. Definitely excited to paint these miniatures up, to build more. Like I said before, my wife gave me the go-ahead to get a few models. Since my buddy Joe will be getting a few models to build up his, I think he's going to play Midnight Suns. And that's another thing too. With this being a Marvel IP, we've got so many different comic book characters to choose from. Like my friend Joe is going to do Ghost Rider and Blade, and just pick up a bunch of other characters that are street level guys. I'm going to pick up the Spider Foes, so I've got Doc Ock. I'm going to pick up Carnage, Mysterio, Venom, and Green Goblin, just to start off with. I gotta have Venom. Venom's my absolute favorite character, bar none. So I'm going to pick him up and play with him. These models are super easy to assemble, like super easy. I did 2 models in less than an hour, and that's with me talking, taking my time, going over the details of each model, reviewing the how to assemble guide, which if I'm correct, every time you buy a model, it's going to come with this how to assemble guide, which is a fantastic tool, right? Perfect for new players or anybody new to the modeling aspect of the hobby. Because there's some games like X-Wing. It's a miniatures game, but everything comes assembled and pre-painted. You just got to put it on its little flight stand, and poof, you're good to go. This stuff is fantastic, top notch, and I'm excited to build more. Simply because I've been wanting to play the game for a couple years now, but it was buying the core box, not wanting to get. I don't want to use Ultron. I don't want to use Captain Marvel. I don't want Red Skull. I don't want Spider-Man. I don't even want Iron Man or Captain America. But there are options in the box. Like, there are people out there that would want to play these characters, and they're included in the box, the starter box. 10 models, 10 good guys, 10 bad guys, a bunch of terrain, and like, this is the largest piece of terrain that comes in it, which is the newsstand, the Daily Bugle newsstand, and it dwarfs all the characters, which means that you can hide behind it. It blocks line of sight. Larger characters can pick it up and throw it, just like other characters can pick up cars and dumpsters. The trash can, that little trash can came with the set, so I'm very excited to see how all these rules come into play. And I'm also excited to announce that we are putting together our first 24-hour stream of the year. In 2020, I did one 24-hour stream. Last year, I did 3. I tried to do 4, but the 4th one, unfortunately, due to some family problems, I wasn't able to complete it, and that's fine. Things like that happen. This year, I'm shooting for 2, just 2 24-hour streams that me, my wife, my friends, even my daughters will participate in and have a good time and raise money for Texas Children's Hospital. I also want to work with my wife to do a gaming food drive for the Houston Food Bank this year. We used to do it years ago, and we called it Food Machine. We want to do something to the same extent with that too, because we wanted to help our community here in Houston, Texas. It's important to do what you can, where you can, when you can. And I love gaming. There are tons of other people that love gaming, and I know that there are tons of other people that want to contribute to their community through this outlet. Right? We can do it. Plenty of other people have done it. Why can't we? We don't need to have a top-of-the-line laptop or PC or console to play games for charity. I'm going to run RPGs and board games. No video games for this first stream. I might do a video game in the wee hours of the night in between sessions. We'll see. I'm still working out the schedule, but I'm very excited because I have finally started working on the schedule. And when my wife wakes up tomorrow, I'm going to talk to her about it, because she's very involved with this too, and she loves philanthropy and doing things for the community. So normally these 24-hour streams are my big idea, and I put forth a lot of the effort. But I know the food drive is something that's on her heart too, and she likes to work with me with. So we'll be gearing up for that. So, in conclusion, thank you very much for checking me out tonight. I will be back. I might be back tomorrow night. I might be back Saturday night. I'm just trying to get more hours in so that I can try and hit these goals that Twitch and Facebook and YouTube want me to hit. But I have content. Like, I have tons of models to build. I'll be painting all these models throughout the month. I've got heavy gear models that I'm building and getting ready for. If you haven't seen Heavy Gear or watched me play Heavy Gear, I absolutely love that game too. It's just big stompy robots that you build, customize and build, just like I did with these miniatures. And then getting ready for our Zombicide campaign and board game days that we'll be holding here fairly soon, because we love Zombicide and we did the Kickstarter for the new Wild West Zombicide. So, thank y'all very much for watching. I love you very much. Get some sleep, and we'll see you later.